So a quick reminder ahead of today's episode that the Champions League starts tonight and you still have time to enter my fantasy football league for the Champions League with the code available on screen now. And I will be unveiling my final Champions League fantasy football team today at lunchtime at the traditional 12 p.m. YouTube short. And if you are involved in the summer's Euro fantasy football, you will automatically be re-entered into my competition for this as well, because it is also run by UEFA. Best of luck to you. And we are back. Welcome back to the FPL series. It is time for my Game Week 4 review and my Game Week 5 preview. And, well, when your luck's not in, your luck's just not in. I played my wild card. I was really happy with the team that I built. And I got 39 points when the average was 51. And honestly, it was just bad luck. And I genuinely believe it was bad luck. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this team. But you go through it. Canate, Liverpool concede, then lose at home to Forest. Robinson concedes in the 95th minute to West Ham. Digne gets an assist, but concedes twice at home to Everton. Palmer does nothing against Bournemouth. Salah does nothing against Forest. Rodgers could have had a hat-trick and a hat-trick of assists and did nothing against Everton. Minter, Brighton didn't even score at home to Ipswich. Esso did nothing at home to Leicester, and Mateta took the penalty instead of him. João Pedro didn't even play. He then comes out for Evanilson, who misses a penalty. And then Haaland, who I didn't captain because of the whole risk of bereavement and him not even playing, then gets 13, meaning I missed out on an additional 12 points by captaining Salah instead of Haaland. In retrospect, obviously, I should have just captained Haaland because if he didn't play, then it would have gone to Salah anyway. But, even my team from last week, you look at the players that I had in my team last week. Raya got 9, Smith Rowe got 10, Bruno got 6. Watkins got 15. I would have got more points if I didn't play my wild card, but I stand by the wild card that I played. It just wasn't to be this week. And before I even look at the table and things like that, you look at this squad again for this week coming up. Verbruggen at home to Forest. Canate at home to Bournemouth. Van der Ven Brentford. Digne Wolves. Palmer West Ham. Salah Bournemouth. Eze United. Rodgers Wolves. Minter Forest. Haaland Arsenal. Pedro Forest. That is really good fixtures for every single one of my players this week. So I am 100% sticking with my plan for this wild card. I'm leaving the players out that I don't intend on playing this week. That was the whole point of building a squad for these 4 weeks into the international break. And I am very happy with it. But unfortunately, it's just not gone my way this week, which means that somehow I've dropped even further down my own league and now sit 91st. Meanwhile, Tumelo has managed to rack up a 94 this week to get them up to 318 points overall just by literally nailing it. Watkins, Haaland, Mateta, Bowen, Gabriel, Raya, Smith Rowe. Fair play to you. 94 points last week was absolutely outstanding. So much so, it got them a score of 4,689 in the world and has obviously skyrocketed them to the top of the Esso 99 League. So fair play, congratulations to you. Our previous leader, Will Lawrence, managed to keep hold of second place and is still on 312. But makes the league a lot more interesting. We've got 4 or 5 people there in and around the top points. We'll see how it progresses going forward. In terms of Dave's team, I mean, that one managed to get 54, but arguably there were even mistakes in there. I say that. I obviously thought Alisson was going to get the clean sheet against Forest. He didn't, and then Sanchez saved that Evanilson penalty and got the clean sheet and got 15. Rest of the team actually did pretty well. Martinez clean sheet, Dunk clean sheet, Cucurella clean sheet, Ahmad with an assist, and Kunku coming on and scoring. Maybe we'll start seeing him starting now, and obviously again the same issue with the Haaland and Salah captain situation. But 54 points for Dave's team sees him move up to 58th in the Esso 99 League. But where this gets really embarrassing is when we get to the FPL Challenge, where you'll see that my team has played in all 4 game weeks so far and is on 84 points, whereas Dave's team has played 3 out of 4 weeks and is on 119. So I've actually done better on my other account in 3 weeks than I've done on my own account in 4 on the FPL Challenge, which is absolutely mental. And obviously we've got this new international series coming up for that next week. So I'm interested to see what teams we come up with for them. But in terms of my plans for next week, obviously I have already mentioned that I'm not changing my team. I am just moving around the personnel because I'm very, very happy with the squad that I've made. But if you're looking to pick up players for this week, you've got to be again looking at the fixtures. So I'd be again looking at the likes of Brighton, Aston Villa, Liverpool, the players that I put in my team last week, to be honest with you. One to bear in mind though, which I think is fascinating, despite having an average point of nearly 8 points per game, because of how many people took Saka out last week, ahead of the Tottenham and Manchester City games, Saka has dropped back down to 10 million again. So he is now back in range of people that wanted to potentially shift their budget around and move towards Bukayo Saka. Yes, they have Arsenal away in their next game, they have Man City away in their next game, but then it's Leicester, Southampton and Bournemouth. That's fantastic for Saka. So if you're someone that either took Saka out last week or haven't put him in yet, maybe put him in now before his price goes back up again, because people are going to think, oh my word, he's still got good points against Tottenham. Maybe he'll get good points against City, and then look at these fixtures he's got coming up. It may be a real good opportunity to sneak Bukayo Saka back in your team before his price goes back up again. But like I say, outside of that, for me, you're looking at the likes of Ollie Watkins once again, who's now dropped down to 8.9. John Duran, who I think is going to start playing matches soon. I cannot believe he is not starting for Aston Villa yet, but I think it's only a matter of time before he starts getting starts, especially with European football now on the agenda as well. And with that said, as always, my weekly reminder with how busy the football pile-up schedule is this year. This week alone, you've got Champions League matches and League Cup matches. So if you are looking to make transfers this week, as early as today, just bear in mind a lot of your players may be playing this week, and a lot of your players you may be looking to put in may be playing this week and could pick up injuries ahead of the Friday transfer deadline. So as always, I would err on the side of caution and say don't make your transfers yet unless you're playing a wild card. Wait until Friday morning. If the price rise does happen or a couple of your players drop in price, I can only apologise for that. But you don't want to be making a change and then one of your players get injured. So just err on the other side of caution when it comes to that. But like I say, there are definitely some good bargains available to you this week. There's some really good cheap players out there right now. All of them from some of the teams that are playing really well as well. So keep your eye on it. Best of luck to you as always. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out my Champions League fantasy football that is obviously launching tonight as well. I'll be back once again on Friday showing you my final team and having a quick review of the price rises and changes for this week, as well as my FPL challenge teams for this week as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you there.